Part 6. Unexpected Kiss and Possible Love Triangle. Was that your only kiss together with him, dear? Minerva asked. No, it's not, but I'll tell you when it was. Our only other kiss together was before him, Ron, and Hermione left to go on their search. Harry and I were privately talking and saying goodbye when I started crying because I didn't want him to leave. I wanted to come with them, and I told Harry that I could help them. Maybe they'll even need me and my knowledge, especially if I'm a Dumbledore, and I learned a lot from my father. What happened then? Well, then Harry said that I'm better off here for my safety, and Hermione and Ron later on agreed. They didn't want anything to happen to me, and I guess, knowing that I'll be here, then I'll be better off. Of course, Harry didn't want me to cry, so he wiped the tears off of my face, and the next thing I know, he kissed me. Did you kiss him back? I mean, of course I did, yeah. I liked it more than I like to admit. Did you feel any type of way about the way compared to how you felt when Severus used to kiss you? I mean, yes, no, I don't know. Maybe that's my problem? But the way Harry kissed me that day when we were probably talking was so passionate and soft in a way that I didn't expect at all. It was really different from before, like a different feeling. It was almost as if he was trying to tell me something, but I don't know what it could be. I think I may know some, but continue, dear, she said as she looked at me. It's just, I never really knew how he felt about me either. I mean, he's liked other girls in the past and not me. I know I used to have a crush on him, but at the same time, he's my best friend. We're close like siblings almost. Maybe he doesn't even know himself either. Things could change quickly, you know, and boys are complicated. Not that I'm surprised or anything, Paige, that he kissed you twice over the years, but you two have been that close for quite some time. What do you mean? I know you've had all of those talks with your father about love and relationships, dear. Love is the most powerful force and thing in the universe, but it can also make or break you. It's complicated, like you'll want to scream, but it's worth it. It's hard for me to realize, but I believe I realize it now. I mean, on how things I've always felt about Harry, deep inside, even though I feel a certain way about Severus. But I miss Harry more than I would like to admit, and I wish I were by his side. I glanced at her as she glanced back. Paige, you're falling in love with him, and you don't realize it. But I do. I'm speechless. I can't say anything. It's hard to admit to myself that I would be in love with my best friend. I mean, am I really starting to fall in love with Harry, even though I still have deep feelings for Severus? I'm so confused, I managed to admit. Well, honey, in my opinion, I think you love Severus, but you've also come to love Harry, too. It was silent, as she also stated, you are in a love triangle, dear. I didn't say anything as I leaned on her shoulder, and were sitting there in calm, relaxing silence. 3 days later. I sucked in a huge breath as I stared at Severus, waiting for him to say something back. We somehow ended up bickering over the same thing, again, just like before. And here I thought we were starting to get past it. I watched as his back was towards me, and he didn't respond for a couple of minutes. He finally turned around with a tear in his cheek, and his emotion changed. Listen, Paige, I want you to take this tear and keep it safe until I tell you to. Understood? I nodded as I saw something small in his hand, and I looked at him confused. I did what I was told, and I didn't bother to ask questions, nor did I want to. Our hands connected, and I felt something jolt inside my body, which I tried to ignore. I held the vial as I saw his tears on the bottom of it. I have a feeling deep down he wants me to hold on to this in case something bad happens. I put the vial in my robe pocket as I glanced at him with caring eyes. Look, Severus, I don't want to fight anymore. I'm tired of fighting and arguing. I physically and emotionally cannot do it. My heart can't take it. It may be bloody complicated, But you also drive me mad. I'm already going through enough. My father said I needed to be brave no matter what. Severus, I don't know if I can be brave anymore. Tears formed in my eyes, and I jumped slightly as I felt him grab hold of my hand. I'm so sorry, Paige. I know I'm not who I used to be anymore, and I know that I've changed. But I'm still the man that you fell in love with, no matter what. How? Sometimes I feel like I don't know you at all. He looked sternly at me. You know you're my weakness, Paige. You're a brave person, Paige. You always have been, just like your father was. For a second, the way he looked in my eyes made me feel dazed. After a minute, I said, But Severus, you made a life promise to my father to protect me until you die, and I'm trying my best to keep that promise as I said I would. What do you mean? How, if you're with Voldemort? Do you really think that I wouldn't protect you even though we aren't together anymore? I'll always be there to protect you, Paige. I don't care what he says or thinks, but as long as I'm around, I won't let him hurt you. Severus, I don't care if he kills me to get to you, no matter how much hatred I may express. I can't see you get hurt. My heart filled with pure awe as I couldn't help but smile softly. I hugged him in a tight embrace. He didn't hesitate at all as he hugged me back tightly. My heart saying yes, but my brain saying no. It felt nice to be like this again, but yet I knew deep down that this was wrong. But in that moment, it seems like we both forgot about everything in the past and just let things be for that single moment. At the same time, how can I be with someone who's a Death Eater and works with someone I despise? Unexpectedly, Severus lifted my chin up as we looked into each other's eyes. He still held me tight, and I didn't let go at all or hesitate. I felt myself becoming shy, nervous, and hypnotized by gazing into his dark eyes like an endless spiral. I noticed in his eyes he appeared to maybe feel the same. Why was he suddenly like this? What's on his mind? Jesus, I could kiss him right now. We're so close. Does he want to kiss me? Paige, I know that we can't be together, but just know that I wasn't just using you. Even if you don't believe me, it's the truth. I really did love you. I still do, and maybe this will prove it to you once and for all. I was about to ask what he meant, but I shortly got cut off by feeling his lips on mine. Without second-guessing or questioning, I kissed him back for a brief moment as he slowly let me go. Why does he have to be so bloody complicated as a person? He softened up completely, and now he kisses me to prove that he never stopped loving me. I came originally wanting to confront him about everything I've read in Dad's journal, but this totally caught me off guard. I also wanted to tell him that I was through with everything altogether. If he wouldn't protect me at all, what good was it to keep hanging on to this hope that he would suddenly change and love me again? It seems to be the complete opposite now. Or was he just saying it? Honestly, I don't know. But I guess I'll wait until another time to mention Dad's journal. I mean, he appears to be telling the truth. There's nothing to indicate that he's lying. When we finally let go of each other's hold, we were silent and couldn't bear to say one word. Not able to think straight from it all, I bolted out of the door and ran fast as possible to the Gryffindor common room. I didn't give Severus a chance to say anything, let alone a bye or don't leave. I got inside the common room and saw Ginny sitting near the fireplace, and the moon was coming out. She glanced behind me and stated softly, "Christmas Eve is tomorrow." I slowly walked over and sat next to her as I nodded my head, not saying anything. "What's the matter?" she asked, concerned. "Did something bad happen to Harry, Ron, or Hermione?" "No, it's not that at all. I'm sure they're fine." "Then what is it, Paige?" "You sure you want to know?" "Paige, you're my best friend. Of course I want to know." "It's about Snape. I know how you feel about him, but he kissed me." "Wait, what? I thought you two weren't together anymore." "We aren't together. That's the whole thing. It was a little odd for a spare moment, I'll admit, and completely unexpected." I told her everything, and she nodded and listened to what I said. Well, I don't know what to tell you to do, but you know I dislike him since becoming the new Headmaster. All of the Gryffindors do too, and I'm sure all the other students feel the same. I know, I hate it too, believe me. It would be easier if Harry, Ron, and Hermione were here. I think we all want them here indeed, she responded. You okay, Paige? I heard someone asking in the distance. I turned and saw Neville walking toward where Ginny and I were sitting. I'm okay for now, Neville. Thanks for asking. As I said to you both before, it's been rough on me and the others too. I'm Dumbledore's daughter after all, and it's tough being here for the first time without him. I watched Ginny as she looked a little worried when I said Ron and Harry's names. I put my hand on her shoulder. I'm sure that your brother, Hermione, and Harry are all okay. Neville came and put his hand on her other shoulder as I remembered the letter Harry had given me. Oh, Neville, Ginny, Harry managed to write me a letter. Here. I pulled out the letter that I kept in my pocket as I gave it to Ginny, and she read it. She smiled some, figuring out that her brother was okay, just going through a rough patch. We may be best friends, but we both know how we feel equally about Harry. We both like him. I guess it depends on who he ends up liking more. After Neville read the letter, he said, At least we know that they're okay. Yeah, I wrote back to Harry warning him about how bad things were here. I told him they needed to come back and rescue us. I don't have a clue if he'll get the letter, though. Guys, I feel like that this is just the beginning of a battle ahead. Everyone is at risk, and people will unfortunately die. But my father made a life promise to Severus to protect me until Severus dies. No matter what happens between us, Severus said that he'll protect me. Protect you from what? Neville asked. To protect me from Voldemort, Neville. He even said he'll let Voldemort kill him if Voldemort even tries to hurt me while he's alive. I thought he was scared of you and your dad, Ginny added. He was scared of my father, and I know he's scared of me too. Harry's going to be in danger, and I'm going to stay by his side and fight this with him. I was with him from the beginning when this started, and we can end it together. I watched them both look at me and smile softly as I smiled back. Make sure to stay tuned for more parts of this story slowly. Thank you guys for so much for tuning in. See you next time.